We're gonna unveil them underneath my row cover here, and look at these beautiful babies. Hey guys, it's Bridget with Sanity Seed Company, and these are some very special videos that we're shooting called The Garden Revisited. Basically, we're going back to some of our most popular videos and we are answering some of the most common questions that we got on those videos because, hey, we figure that if you commented with these questions, other people are thinking it too. And we want you to be as successful as possible. So this particular video is about transplanting brassicas. Kind of a tricky thing to do in the garden, especially if you're a new grower. And so we're gonna check out this video from 2021 that we shot about transplanting brassicas and then go into the questions that you posted so that we can help you be really successful this year. Cabbage is in the brassica family, which is also broccoli, cauliflower, a lot of your big leafy greens, and they all have kind of a similar way that you wanna start them in your garden or on your farm. It's really best to start them by transplants. We've got a tray here. This is what's left over of what we've already planted. We've got this gorgeous savory cabbage, and you can see that they look really nice. Look at those roots. They are ready to be transplanted. Now we start them in these trays because we can keep the trays really moist until they germinate. Once they get their first set of true leaves, you want to make sure that you fertilize. We fertilize with an organic liquid fertilizer until they get to about this size, and then we transplant them out. Cabbages, broccolis, cauliflowers, they're really big plants and they need a lot of nutrients and they need a lot of space. So I'm gonna show you, we've got some planted on the farm, and I'm gonna show you about how far you wanna space them so that they grow up to be really big, delicious heads of cabbage. We're gonna unveil them underneath my row cover here, and look at these beautiful babies hidden underneath here. Look how gorgeous these guys look. I know for some people who have been growing for years and years and years, this may not be that exciting. For us, in Southern California, where it's really hot in the fall, being able to transplant your leafy greens can be really difficult. And so things like this row cover really help. Also, our irrigation really makes a difference. And so these guys look just fabulous. You can see that I've given them a lot of spacing, and they're gonna grow up to be very large heads of savory cabbage. I've got more hidden underneath here. And they're being protected here by this row cover. Now, some of you guys might think, what's that white powder we've got here? Well, that's called diatomaceous earth. It's a really simple, easy, organic product that you can use in your garden. It just helps protect them a little bit from things like roly-polies, also called armadillidiidae, fun word. And it just keeps them off of the plant enough so that they can grow up and be strong enough to withstand a little bit of pest damage. Now the key with diatomaceous earth is it must stay dry. What it is really tiny particles of silicate that actually cut up things like roly-polies and caterpillars that are gonna munch on your goodies. And so it's a little difficult to use because you wanna keep it dry, yet it's near the irrigation. But I promise, with a little bit of practice, you'll get used to it, and it makes all the difference for our babies. You can see they're in here, they're really big, they're really happy. And I'm actually gonna keep this row cover on top of them the whole time that they're growing so that they can stay protected from other insects. And once they're ready to harvest, I'll pull this off, cut my big old delicious heads, and make some cabbage soup. So you watched that video, you saw how we transplant our brassicas. Now let's get into some common questions that we had posted on the video. We actually have a viewer here from South Florida who had asked specifically about what type of fertilizer do we use on our seedlings. Well, like a magic cooking show, here it is. I wanted you to throw it, but then I wouldn't have caught it and it would have splattered everywhere and it would have been hilarious, but that's fine. So fertilizer that you use for your seedlings is very important that it is not a super harsh chemical fertilizer because it can easily burn your tender baby transplants. So I really like using a fish or fish and guano combo. Even though it's a little bit stinky, it is a easy to use fertilizer that has relatively low numbers here. So the nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus are under 10, which is really important. And it can easily be diluted at whatever quantity that you desire. A general recommendation I have is that you dilute it by 50% of whatever is recommended. So on this particular one, I don't actually have it memorized, but I should. Let's see, for vegetables, it's saying 1/2 ounce per gallon. So you would use 1/4 of an ounce per gallon. So basically half. And the reason why you do that is because I want to save you some money. First of all, your baby transplants can only suck up so much nutrients. So giving them more doesn't actually make them get bigger quicker. You're really just wasting product, which none of us want to do, right? So by making it more diluted, they can take up what they can, and it means you're gonna probably have to fertilize more often. Another reason why I love fish and guano is it can easily be taken up by the roots and the leaves itself. So unlike a harsh chemical fertilizer where you have to be very careful on how you apply it, you can apply this very liberally, and if it gets on the leaves are actually gonna suck up those nutrients as well, and they're gonna grow a lot faster. This is our go-to, what we've been using for years, and I really haven't found a better product out there. All right, so the next question we have on here is, how do you deal with earwigs? Well, every garden has hundreds of thousands of millions of earwigs in them that may or may not be causing you some trouble in the garden. Well, particularly in the fall when you're transplanting your brassicas, they come out in groves because they're hungry. There's not a lot in the natural landscape for them to feast on. And then you basically put a buffet of delicious, succulent brassicas for them to eat on. Now, a couple of earwigs or roly-polies, for example, they can't do much damage. But when there's hundreds of thousands of them and your transplant is this big, in one night, the plant can be gone. Now, luckily for you, there's a very easy organic way that you can manage it. It's called Sluggo Plus. I'm really hitting the point there that it's plus. So Sluggo is a great product, but Sluggo Plus is also going to help to protect your seedlings from earwigs, roly-polies, and other insects that can gnaw away at your plant when they're little. Now, it's an organic product that you can use in gardens that have kids and pets, even chickens are fine. But the best part about this product is you're gonna use it specifically for those pests and only for a very short period of time when your plants are small. Once they get big enough, no amount of earwigs or roly-polies can really do a lot of damage, and you don't need to use it any longer, which makes it really easy. It's one of our go-to products to use in the fall. Pretty much anytime we direct sow a seed or transplant out a tender seedling, we will actually pre-treat with Sluggo Plus, which makes all the difference in the world. All right, so here's one of my favorite parts of the video. It's where I ask you to like and subscribe to our channel. If you like the content we're putting out, subscribe, because we're always doing new videos and I love hearing from you. So comment on this video and tell me, what do you use to reduce transplant shock in your fall garden? How can I learn from you on some really good tips? Additionally, we sell the fish and guano. You can get this pretty much anywhere, but you also can support our small local seed company by buying it from us. And now it's this video is going to premiere in November, which means you still have time to do tons of planting of seed for your cool season crops. We actually have a calendar that we put out that can tell you exactly what to be planting, but spoiler alert, you still have plenty of time for your brassicas. So you've got your kales, you've got your broccoli, your cabbage, your cauliflower. All of these crops can be started by seed in what would be your third, maybe even your fourth succession planting of them by the time November rolls around. Get those up and growing to a good size and transplant it out in the garden. And come late winter, early spring, you're gonna have some beautiful heads of brassicas to enjoy in your kitchen.